Hey pals, so I need to hop on here before the video starts and let you know we are all human and my video lighting is shit in this video, but the content is so good that I couldn't just scrap it. I was cackling at this video at 7 a.m. this morning. My editor, just trust me, it's worth watching and I'm out of breath, but thank you for sticking through it. It is so good, and don't forget to leave your commentary below. Let me know what you think of the video that I'm reacting to. You're amazing. Thank you for sticking through it. Hey, hello, I'm JulieJo, and MLMs are not small businesses. Wait, that didn't sound right. You know what? Let's try it again. Hey, hello, I'm JulieJo, and welcome to my channel. There it is. There it is. If you're new here, welcome back.
What? Don't welcome back. You're new here. Welcome.
If you're not new here, welcome back. Today, you might remember this face. We've seen it before in a previous video that I did. You can see it up there. I'll put it in the cards. Those were the days. That was the time. She had to ask anti-MLMers questions. I saw it. And I said, oh, you know what? Why hasn't anyone answered? Well, I'm sure they did, but she deleted and blocked.
Yo, dogs. Please don't shake in my video. It's fine. You're cute.
Anywho, she asked anti-MLMers questions. We tried to answer, deleted and blocked. She got into it with me, so I did a video on it. And it actually is doing really well. It's in my top 8 videos, I think, and I've done, God, I don't know, 64 videos. So feel free to go watch it. I really enjoyed doing that video, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy this video today as well. Don't forget to follow me on social media. It is Walking on Lexapro for both my TikTok and my Instagram. You can see more anti-multi-level marketing content there on the daily, especially my Instagram, and more anti-scam, because I'm focusing on anti-scam in general, but anti-multi-level marketing is really big right now, and it is something I was a part of and know a lot about, so I do want to focus a lot on that with pulling some other scams in as well. Also, you should go watch my new Stormy Wellington video. My editor's amazing, and I worked really hard with research, and there's gonna be some videos from people of color who are gonna do an incredible job, and just go take a look at it. It's right up here. I'll put it in the cards. Watch it. It's only about 30 minutes, but it was so fun to do, and I'm so excited to see what happens with it, and it was a blast. It took a lot out of me though, I'll tell you that much. All right, I think it is time that we go ahead and get started. So let's watch her training on small businesses versus MLMs.
Because I don't know if I can save it, but if I can, that would be great. So like I posted earlier, I am going to be talking small business versus MLM, and that's actually a really hot topic right now. In like there's people who are totally against MLMs, like anti-MLM, and they get very, very upset when people who are in MLMs call themselves small business owners, which, you know, they get upset over everything, so you can't really take that with a grain of salt.
Madison, I can't. Do you know why we get upset? Because it's deceitful and it's a lie. So you're okay with being a liar? It sure seems like it, Madison. We get mad over everything? Oh, you mean the fact that you're really good at scamming people and I want to call you out on it? That's not getting mad, that's holding you accountable for being scummy.
No, it's true. It's true.
Used plunger? Jeez. And I don't like her very much. She's just an icky person to me. She gives me really weird vibes. You know, there's some people in MLMs that are top leaders and I'm like, all right, you can do it. See the light, let's go. But then there are some people that I'm like, you're just a nasty person. And maybe it's the MLM that makes you this way. Maybe it's not. I just don't like the way they paint this picture of us getting upset at everything. Well, I mean, we don't really enjoy you scamming people and being deceitful, so it really doesn't bring us joy. It doesn't make us happy. We don't like it. I don't know why you would. Oh.
Because it makes you a lot of money.
But I just wanted to compare my experience between the two. So If you guys don't know me, you know, I'm Madison. Hello. Some people just call me, you're the lady that does the reels. I'll respond to that as well. But I had a small business for 6 years. Actually, it was like 5.5. I started it when I was 16 and I closed it when I was 21. I did heat transfer vinyl. I did it on t-shirts, and I specialized in mommy and me sets. So matching sets between moms and kids, which is very funny because I have no kids. So I don't even know how I got into that space, but it just kind of happened and my business really thrived there. And, you know, it was a great business and it was a great experience, but I'm going to share a little bit with you why it closed. I did close it in December of 2020, which I'll give you one guess as to why. The big thing that we hit in 2020 was a pandemic. So it was about March of 2020, obviously, when that all started. Warehouses shut down. And the warehouse where I got my shirts from shut down. So I couldn't get the supplies I needed. People were ordering, and I had to tell them, I'm so sorry, but I cannot fill your order. And that's just kind of the beginning of the end. So as my small shop was doing this, because I couldn't get the supplies I needed, I was already a market partner with Monat previously to that, but I was in it more for the discount.
So that is a bummer. Tons and tons of small shops closed because of that, which is very sad. Now, I think the PPP loans came in a little late for a lot of people, especially if you like owned a very small shop and you were like the only one doing it. But those are now in effect, so it could be possible that she could reopen it if she wanted. You know, it is a bummer that a lot of small shops did close. Why'd you have to go with Monat? Beats me.
So I started working my Monat business a little more, and so my Monat business was doing this while my small shop was doing this. Okay?
Yeah, MLMs actually spiked during that time because they were being very deceitful. Not only that, but the FTC sent them letters warning them, called warning letters, about them lying about the business and the products, and I'm pretty sure Monat was on that list. Let me look.
12 seconds later.
It was not on that one. It was health and earning claims, doTERRA. Not surprised by that one. Prove it. Hey, prove it. Suck it. Total Life Changes. Again, go watch my Stormy Wellington video. Tranent, which, by the way, is where a lot of people from Boo are going. I need to do a video on that. Modere. The Poop Goop, that's right. Arbonne, which is what I was in. Earning claims, only It Works. Not surprised. Rodan Fields. Gross. ID Life. Don't know what you are. And then health claims, Zervita. So Monat was not in them, but Monat was not actually in these letters. However, a lot of MLMs were using and we all know, we all saw it, the pandemic, sadly, as an opportunity to grow their business, and a lot of them did. They got a lot of people to join.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're
It's
fine.
very sad.
You're not really fine, but you just can't get into.
And I even did that too. I intentionally just copied whatever my uplines were doing, and that included using the pandemic as an excuse to sell products, right? Like, I was in health and wellness, so you know it was going crazy, and that's why Arbonne was on both health and earning claims, because we were spreading the business, trying to get people to join, saying if you're out of work, which a ton of people were, obviously, join the business, you can make money, you can do it without getting closed down, like your shop, you know, just taking advantage of people in vulnerable states, which is what MLMs do. So I know Monat was a part of it. However, they obviously were not as intense as some of those.
This space, and then December of 2020 is when I officially closed my small shop. It was named Bella Noel. I actually have a shop that is not connected to our house, but right next to it, it was an old shed. My grandpa, Lord bless him, at like 65, totally redid the entire thing for me and put AC in it and all the things. That's kind of besides the point, but he was so amazing to do that. Anyways, so differences between the two. First off, taxes are not the same. So with our small businesses, our LLCs, I was a Schedule C LLC, and I filed 1040 forms, and now with an MLM, you file a 1099. So that's kind of the boring tax side to it, but they are very different in that aspect.
I paid $5,000 in taxes in 2020 from Arbonne. It sucked. I just paid it off. And it's 2022, January 2022. It was gut-wrenching. I actually had someone previously, last week, message me on Instagram and say they made $100,000 in 1 year from their MLM, and it was like their first year they joined, and they just like grew really quickly. And they weren't like, no one told them, right? I mean, there is a certain aspect of us being responsible, of course, but then there is a certain aspect of the company going, hey, this is important, taxes. And no one told her that. And she owed $30,000 in taxes. And this was a few years ago, and she's still paying on it today. And everything in your MLM, you get taxed for. Things that you earn, like trips. I mean, I earned a trip. I got paid $3,500 because I didn't go on the trip because it was canceled because of COVID. And that counted towards my taxes. Any gifts we got, anything free or anything we got awarded, whether it was money or physical gifts, it was all taxed. It was taxed. And I didn't know that. They are so deceiving in so many ways. And talking about the tax benefits, you do not get to write off as much as you think that you do. I wrote off literally as much as possible, everything that I possibly could within reason, because I'm not going to write off all the products that I bought because I used a lot of them. That's like illegal to do. Like if it's your personal products that you purchase for yourself, you should not write that off, you know, but a lot of them do, and that's illegal. And it's not for business. It's just for you to use like hair care, body care, whatever. But they promote that, write it all off, every bit of it. And I just don't think, especially with the majority of people in MLMs and what little they make, there's just not that many tax breaks as you think. It's not a good comparison in my opinion. If you know more about it, feel free to comment below.
But small business. So I actually saw, this is what kind of sparked my interest, an anti-MLM page, because, you know, they love me.
No, we don't. I actually haven't thought of you until the other day. When, what was it? I think I saw your video on my YouTube. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a video about her.
We don't think about you, and we don't care about you. Plain and simple.
Yup.
If we love you in the anti-multi-level marketing movement the way you say we do, it's because you are one of the top leaders in a company or high up, and you say terrible things that hurt people.
They had posted something that, you know, they were saying like, oh, small businesses get to do this. MLMs don't let you do this. And like, some of the things they're saying, like small businesses let you do, are actually things that I don't want to do. So it's just kind of weird how they talked about that. So small businesses...
It's not weird, actually. The reason it's talked about is because people like to say that their multi-level marketing company is a small business. It's not a business at all. We know that it's not a business. Let's talk about why, though. Also, I don't care if you don't want to do that stuff. You should not go around equating it in any way to a small business. You should say it is not a small business. You should properly educate and tell them what it is. You are a 1099 contractor with a company. You have no say in anything. It's not a small business because businesses obey the commandment of control. So I'm getting it off a website, why MLM is not a small business, but also from the book, The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, and I'll put my sources below. MLM distributors do not have control. So DeMarco explains, I was involved in 4 MLMs. Not once do I remember dictating product decisions, research and marketing restrictions, rules, cost analysis, or any other activity fundamental to owning a business. If you aren't participating in fundamental activities related to owning a business, you can't call it a business. And the second one is Business 101 excludes MLM. One of my brilliant readers noted, this is from the person who's writing this, Business 101 teaches that in order for you to be considered a business owner, there are 3 musts. You must have control of the product. You must have control of the distribution, and you must have control of the pricing. These people are not business owners. They are recruiters and salespeople. Every MLM that I've looked at fails these 3 principles. MLMs claim that distributors set their own pricing, but MLMs set the pricing to their victims excessively high because that's where they make the money. They're overpriced on purpose. And we know that the distributors are the MLM's biggest customer. MLM salespeople can't charge less or they'll lose money. They can't charge more for 3 reasons. 1, the products are already excessively high priced from the MLM company. 2, people can get the product at distributor cost, usually by signing up to be a preferred customer themselves. 3, the MLM distributor can't compete on pricing with other salespeople. They can't charge more because they don't add any value to the consumer. There is no reason to be comparing small businesses and MLMs because they are not comparable. That's like comparing shoes and bananas.
If you can compare shoes and bananas, good for you.
But you can't compare MLMs and small businesses. There's no comparison.
Businesses versus an MLM. Small businesses, you create the product and you promote the product, right? So when I did t-shirts, I made the shirts. I was in charge of ordering the shirts, making the shirts, shipping the shirts, packaging all the things, okay? Which means I held an inventory. I had a wall full of shirts. I had hundreds of shirts at a time. And so because I had an inventory, I had to front a lot of that cash.
Anyone else think of some MLMs that have inventory, even though they say they don't have inventory? I can think of many, and one of those is Monat.
And something that I tell everyone is when I started my small business, I invested $5,000 in it. $5,000, you guys. People talk about like $199 being a lot for a product pack. I put in $5,000.
I know I keep stopping it a lot. $5,000, I guarantee you made that back. $199, I cannot guarantee that the majority of people in Monat make that back. Let's see. Monat income disclosure statement. Just because I want to bring receipts, I know that maybe you've seen it before on my videos. It's not like I've shown it a billion times, but I want to bring the receipt, okay? Rank is market partner, which is the bottom rank in Monat, and it's 92.26% of people out of 100. That's how many people are in that rank. And the annual earnings, right? The average annual earnings is $161. And we know from the AARP that 9% of people join the business only to get a discount on the products. So that is a terrible excuse. 91% of the people join the business to make money as one of their big reasons. That's from the AARP, who did the most recent statistics and research and data on MLMs in 2018. So they can't use that excuse anymore. It's BS.
And my small business did well, so I made that return on my investment back greatly, which was awesome. It got to the point, and totally being honest with you guys, when I started my small business, I invested $5,000. You know, I was young, I was 16. I had $27 left to my name at one point when I was 16 or 17, which was scary. Like, even though I was young, still live at home, like all the different things, it's scary to have, $5,000 that you invest into a business and you're down to your last 27, right? So with a small business, you're going to have a lot more of that upfront investment, okay?
It is scary. It is scary to start a small business. And I've never done it before. I've thought about it though. But who knows? We'll see. So the thing is, 20% of small businesses in the first year fail. That's 20%. What is the success rate of small businesses? So according to the Bureau of Labor, the rate of failure increases as time goes on, but about 20% of businesses go under after their first year, 50% by their 5th year. And after 10 years, only 1/3 of new businesses remain. Those statistics are so much better than MLM statistics because between 75 to 99.9% of people don't even make money. After 10 years, over 90% have left the MLM. That's also from the AARP. There's just not a comparison.
And also, you create the product. With an MLM, you don't create the product. Like, I didn't create our shampoo, our skincare. I didn't create any of that. With my small business, I created the shirts. And people like to look at that as a negative. Well, you don't get to create the product. Girlfriend, I don't want to create the product. I already did that. I don't want to make the product anymore. I don't want an inventory. I did that, you guys. I don't want that. And so people sometimes are like, well, with an MLM, you don't get to create the product. I don't want to, okay? I really don't. I already did that. And I don't want to ever talk bad about the small shop community, because I love my small shop. It holds a really big place in my heart. And I love the small shop community. And a lot of people I've met through my small shop are actually on my team today. So that's super, super awesome. But another big difference between the two. So with a small business, you are in charge of creating the promotions and running the sales. Versus an MLM, like with Monat, for example, we're pretty notorious for having flash sales on Fridays. And so people want to be like, well, you don't get to create the pricing, and you don't get to create the sales. Again, I don't want to, you guys. I did that for my small business, and it was so hard to figure out, okay, what do I want to charge for this? And then when you run a sale, you guys, you run a sale and you're like, okay, I'm going to run a sale. So if I sell this much, then the sale's worth it. It's just so hard.
I will say I'm sure it's very difficult to do that. I haven't done it before, especially as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old. That would be difficult. But again, Monat and every MLM is so overpriced on purpose. The products are not worth the price. They're not. And when you're supporting a small business, you're supporting people who are putting time and effort and hard work into it, and it's also likely their passion.
You guys to figure all that out, to do pricing, to figure out when you're going to do a sale, and to plan those sales ahead. We're really lucky with Monat. We have an amazing, amazing corporate, and they plan out the sales flawlessly for us, you guys. Flawlessly. Black Fridays. They plan our flash sales on Fridays, which gives people the weekend. And I will tell you, when I owned a small business, I had one time, my sister asked me, she was like, so like, what, are you doing like a Black Friday sale? This was on Thanksgiving, not even gonna lie. She's like, I didn't say you post anything. Are you doing a Black Friday sale? I'm like, I forgot. I didn't eat, like, that is the biggest shopping day of the year. And me, being the small business owner, was in charge of the sale, and I forgot.
Yeah, that's your problem. Like, that's your fault. You forgot that. If you are organized and you run your small business very well, you won't forget that. You will be prepared long before Thanksgiving. But you know what? People in MLMs work every single day 24/7. They are working on Thanksgiving because of Black Friday. They are constantly working. So while you might have forgotten that, a lot of people didn't, and they were prepared. But people in MLMs are working on that day, majority of the time, unless you're really high up, probably. And they aren't even getting paid. However, you are in a small business. People are purchasing your products. You're getting paid. But people in MLMs mostly are not getting paid for the time and effort that they put in. They're, in my opinion, being exploited for their work, for the top 1%.
So then Thanksgiving that night, I'm like panicking, trying to make graphics. I'm like, what is my sale gonna be? Like, I don't know. And then I came up with something all last minute. But that's one thing I love about an MLM. You guys, we don't have to plan the sales. They tell us what the sales are, and you're like, that works for me. And the big difference is, when I ran a sale with my small shop, okay, so like one sale I had was, here's one. Buy one, get one half off a mommy and me set. Okay, the mommy and me sets, mom shirt, kid shirt, $40 is what I always charge for them. So buy one, get one half off. So $60 for 2 sets, all right? So I was losing out on $20 essentially, like off retail. I wasn't losing $20, but losing $20 of the sale price every time I sold one of those sets.
Yes, but also a lot of times you do those sales, and correct me if I'm wrong, those that have small businesses, so that more people will purchase, right? You're doing a sale. People want to purchase from sales. So while you might have been losing that $20, it's likely that more people were purchasing that day or that couple days or that week or however long the sale went because of the sale that you put. So you probably made more than you would have on a normal week. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't own a small business, but that's kind of seems a little upfront about how that would work.
All right, I was losing $20 every time, but versus with an MLM, they make the sales, and it doesn't hurt you like that, if that makes sense, you guys. You will still get paid, right? You enroll a VIP with the sale, you still get paid for the VIP. Anyways, differences, you guys. Customer service. This one is actually the same. And I heard somebody talk about this before. Customer service in a small business versus an MLM. That's one of the small things that is the same. I'm always dealing with customers, right? And trying to make them happy. Whether I ship out a mommy and me set to somebody and they're like, something came damaged or ripped. I'm like, oh shoot, right? I'm gonna make it right and ship them out a new set. But the difference with that is when I ship them out a new set, because one was ripped, that comes out of my pocket, right? As a small business owner versus with an MLM, if they get their product, they're like, my shampoo bottle exploded. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And then we can contact customer service and get them a new one. That doesn't come out of my pocket, if that makes sense. So they're the same in the aspect of you got to keep the customers happy, but they're different in the aspect of the money coming out of my pocket versus not coming out of my pocket, right?
Okay, yes, but again, money will still come out of your pocket. Let's say if someone returns something because they didn't like it. And I don't agree. I do not think they are the same. Still calling a big company, waiting in line. I had to do it even. When people reached out to me, I would call for them. Sometimes I couldn't. Sometimes they had to call, but they were calling a large company. They couldn't just message someone on Etsy or contact someone on Instagram or contact someone through their shop. And that person that they contacted, the small business owner, likely would get back quicker. And it's different. It's more personal, and it is not the same. It's not. What are you saying?
Something else, marketing, which I kind of touched on earlier with my Black Friday sale that I screwed up. You guys screwed up big time. So marketing, they're kind of the same, honestly. So my small shop was actually how I ended up in Monat, which is a story for another day. Sorry, I'm getting distracted reading your comments. Anyways, so marketing, it's pretty much the exact same, because for my small business, I would get on every day and I would market. I would show up in my stories and be like, you guys, look at this new t-shirt color I'm launching. It's mint. It's going to be in sizes, extra small to 4XL. Like, look at how cool it is. And I do the same thing with Monat. I'm getting ready in the morning and I'm like, you guys, like, look at this product I just used on my hair. Like, you do the same type of marketing, I'm still showing my face on my Instagram stories. I'm still going live. So marketing between the two is very, very similar. I think it's right about the same. One nice thing about being in an MLM when it comes to marketing versus a small business is sometimes the marketing's kind of done for me in the sense of corporate has graphics or corporate has things we can share versus with an versus with a small shop, I had to make all my own graphics. So that was kind of a pain.
All right.
No, it's not.
You don't have to reach out to people to buy products from you. You shouldn't. You shouldn't say,
Hey, you should buy my products.
that's weird. I have not had a small business, like a real small business owner, come and say, hey, JulieJo, you should buy my products. But I've had people hey hun me in MLMs, and I've done the same to them when I was in my MLM. And I hated that we would all share the same stuff. It's just so not authentic.
What's another word? Inauthentic? I don't really know.
I think it's way more authentic when small businesses make their own graphics, and I'll likely buy more from them because it's just authentic. It's not the same. It's not someone faking being a small business, overpriced products, and being a recruitment scam, in my opinion, versus someone who put in time and effort, whose passion it is, and obviously has worked hard and made this graphic. And it's such a pain, right? But they made this graphic for us to promote their business, to see what they have. I just think it's authentic. I think it's nice. I love shopping on Etsy. I love shopping small businesses. That's something I really enjoy. And there's not a comparison. There's not. MLMs are so icky, and part of the ickiness is the marketing. It's the tactics they use to get people to purchase products. Did you ever have to cold message people? That was the worst. Don't forget to leave your commentary below. I want to hear what you have to say about this, because again, I am not completely educated on this subject. However, I think I wanted to put this video out there because I know a lot of you are. And so I love hearing what you have to say below about this, because I get more educated and people who are watching this video can read below and get more educated as well.
And I still make some of my own graphics now for Monat, or I just show my face, which I also did for my small shop. So marketing's pretty similar in that aspect. In social media, right along with that, right? Marketing and social media, kind of the same thing because we use social media a lot for our marketing. It's kind of the same across the board, You can promote the products and you can decide how you want to promote them, whether you want to show your face, whether you want to show a graphic, whether you want to show a tutorial. It's kind of the same in that aspect. And then the last one I wanted to talk about, well, it's kind of a two-part. Inventory.
I don't think that's the same either. I think they're trained how to market, and everyone does it in the same way oftentimes. I mean, no one does it differently. They might choose to show their face, but you're still essentially doing the same thing, saying the same thing, and a lot of it is misinformed, and a lot of it is deceitful. Whereas a small shop, that's not necessarily true.
Inventory and shipping. You guys, inventory. Can I just say that again? Like I said earlier in the video, I invested $5,000 to start my small shop, and I had to carry an inventory. That's just what I had to do because I sold shirts, right? I need each color of shirt and each size I sold. And I had 16 shirt colors in sizes extra small to 4XL, and then from 3 to 6 months to 7, it was like 7 youth. No, actually, I went up to youth extra large. That was like 14, 16. So you know how many shirts I had to have at one time? You guys, I spent so much money holding an inventory. Versus with Monat, you see, these products here, that's literally all the products I have. It's not an inventory. I don't have, if somebody's like, oh man, I need a dry shampoo. It's not like I'm like, oh yeah, I got one on my shelf. No, they can order from my website, which makes it really nice because I don't have to spend all that money to hold an inventory like I did with my small shop. And then kind of going along with inventory.
We know that a lot of people in MLMs, even if they don't hold inventory. I feel like I've already said this. Yep, I've said it before in this video. What? So we know that that's just not true. I should be pointing out more fallacies throughout this entire thing. I know Carly will. Carly's the bomb. I need to start doing it too, though. Carly, if you're watching this, you get those fallacies, girl. But again, you said you got a great return. You spent a lot of money, but you must have gotten a lot of money back. A great return. I bet your shirts didn't cost a whole lot, but it was $20 a shirt. And that was, God, 7 years ago, however old you are. I don't know. She said she stopped when she was 21. She's probably 22 now. 23, because it's 2022. Gonna be 23 this year. She was 16 when she started.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
When she started, and the price of the shirts probably went up over time. We know that she made a great income from it. And I can assure you that the majority of people are not going to make a great income or great return from their purchase of products in Monat. It's shown on their income disclosure statement. I don't know how else to say it. I think this is extremely deceitful because her experience is not like the majority experience.
Shipping. You guys, Lord bless the Postal Service. They hated me. You guys, with a passion, I think they hated me. Because there were so many times which, I had to ship out products. I was always at the post office. Always. And then a package was always lost. You guys, I was always tracking down somebody's order. And I don't know why. Like maybe the post office hated me. Maybe they're like, it's Madison again. Just throw that one in the trash. I don't know. I had their number on speed dial. They knew me by name. And it was so frustrating. Because not only was it frustrating for me, the people who I was shipping the items to, they're frustrated because it's lost. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Or the package says delivered and they never got it. I'm like, check with your neighbors? I don't know. Versus with an MLM like Monat, and I'm not saying this is the same for all MLMs, I'm kind of speaking more specifically towards Monat. But with a lot of MLMs, well, let's just talk with Monat. I don't want to say with a lot of MLMs because I don't really know any other MLMs. But if a package gets lost or something arrives damaged or whatever, I can talk to customer service and be like, hey, my VIP right here, they got their product is missing, their package is missing, and then the customer service takes care of that. And that's not something that falls on my shoulders.
That is with a lot of MLMs, that will happen. But again, you're still trying to compare it to a small business when it's not comparable to a small business because you're not a business. You are a cog in the machine that is multi-level marketing. Again, with your comparisons, it's just not solid. It's not.
So those are kind of like the main differences between the two. I'll give you guys a second before I end this. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments now and I'll try to get to them. But I don't think, you know, a lot of people are like, you don't own a small business, you work for an MLM, you work for somebody. Yeah, you know, I joined a company, I'm not the CEO. You guys, I was the CEO of a company and I closed it. You guys, I didn't like it. I didn't like everything falling on my shoulders.
But you said in the beginning that you loved your small business, that you had a great return. You went off about how amazing it was, and you closed it because of the pandemic, not because you didn't like it. Why are you lying?
I can't. Get out.
I have a life, you guys. Believe it or not, we all have different things going on. We all have lives. You guys have kids, husbands who are really just like another child. People are college students. I'm in nursing school full time, and that takes up a lot of my time. So it's a lot easier for me to, you know, post about a sale real quick in between my classes versus having to go all the way back home to here, to go out to my small shop, to make a shirt, to package it, to take it to the post office, versus me just being like, oh yeah, let me just text you a cart real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a lot easier for you to have the people below you work and exploit them, in my opinion, and make money off of them. That sounds a lot easier, to be honest.
There's so many differences between small shops and MLMs, and I'm not throwing any hate at small shops, you guys. I had a small shop for a little over 5 years. I keep saying 6 years, and I don't know where I'm getting that extra year from. I don't know, but it was a little over 5 years, and I loved it, you guys, but it drained me. And you know, one of the girls on my team, she's actually in Punta Cana right now, she might see this later, Mercedes. We met because we both owned small shops.
There's nothing else that's said, to be honest, but there is some other things I want to read from this company thing. She wants to do MLM versus small shop. I will too. If you get to, so do I. They always get so mad at us for you know, them saying one thing, us replying, or them saying one side of it, us saying another. What do you mean? If you get to say a side of it, so do I. So here I am. So another thing that comes from DeMarco is businesses obey the commandment of entry. And you have to be able to build a moat around your business, right? Like, especially to help prevent others from competing with you. And DeMarco explains it like this. Network marketing, or MLM, always fails the commandment of entry. Unless you own and create the MLM company yourself, if you're in a room with 2,000 other people who do exactly what you do, you're fighting stiff probabilities. So they continue to say that one thing to keep in mind is that those 2,000 people are taught to recruit more people to compete with your business. There is no moat to protect your business. It is the exact opposite, where they are encouraging more people to compete against you. So you are inviting more people into this company, and you are all learning about the same way to market. Either way, you're marketing the same products. You don't get to change the products. You don't get to change the pricing. You don't get to do any of that. This is part of the reason that the majority of people in the MLMs lose money, because they are competing with everyone else in their company. Another topic that they cover is MLMs don't obey the laws of supply and demand. McDonald's won't let franchise owners open up multiple ones on the same street unless there is sufficient demand. Otherwise, they would compete for few customers and go out of business. MLM has no problem with creating millions of distributors, even if no one is interested in buying the product. They don't ensure that there's enough product demand for the distributor to make money. I often find that plenty of the product is available with a simple eBay search. That's funny. I like that last part, but it's true. Like, I think that the reason that they are so okay with allowing millions of distributors to buy in and to be a part of the MLM is because they know that the distributors are the biggest customers. So it doesn't matter if they can't find customers, but they are buying the product. They are going to buy it. So who cares if they do well or not? And if you put 10 McDonald's on the same block, you'd expect them to lose money and go out of business. You wouldn't blame the individual owners of the McDonald's franchise. When 99% of MLM distributors lose money, they are the ones that are blamed for the failure. But it's
not their fault.
It's not. The company knows what they're doing. They do not obey the laws of supply and demand. It is oversaturated. I don't care what Q Sciences says about the S-curve. The entirety of MLM and the companies in it are oversaturated. Unless you're like brand new off the block, but even then, in a year or two, you'll get saturated. That's just how it goes. And those people who join to be distributors are the customers. Another thing I really like about this article is it says it doesn't matter how hard you work. This is another reason why MLM is not a business. It says MLM supporters will claim that those who lose money just didn't work hard enough. That's not true. It's simple mathematics that guarantee almost everyone will lose money. You can only make money if large numbers of people are recruited below you. That necessarily precludes almost everyone from making money because they can't recruit into infinity. As the pyramid below you gets wider, the new participant added have an even smaller chance of making money because there aren't enough people in the world for everyone to make money. It's like telling someone that they can hit 10 holes in one consecutively in golf. MLMers might counter that another person in MLM attained it though. It's always because they didn't have to work their way up there, competing against everyone else. They were people who started at the top or brought their pyramid scheme from another MLM with them or got in early. There's always a circumstance where they weren't having to compete with everyone else around them. That could also include having a larger following or being more influential because you already had some kind of social media presence. I like this last thing they say. Typically when people understand that MLM isn't a business, they ask me what's better. I counter with what's worse. A minimum wage job at McDonald's is much better than spending your time to lose money. You might not like a job picking up dog poop, but it's profitable in the first hour. So this is what I have for today, and I want to hear what you have to say about this. I'm so tired of MLMs acting as though there's any comparison between them and small businesses. There's not. And I'm tired of them blaming people who fail the MLM and that they're the reason that they didn't do it. They either didn't work or they just didn't put enough effort. It's always that person's fault. They didn't do their part. But we realize and we know that it's because the goal was never actually attainable for them. That's all I have for you today. Let me know what you think of her video. Leave your commentary below. I'm excited to read and learn more from all of you, especially if you have a small business. If you don't have a small business, I love to interact with you anyway. Don't forget to be a part of my membership. My members usually always get my videos at least 12 hours early. And honestly, I am just so glad that you made it to this point. My membership is $2, $5, or $10. Whenever you're watching this or wherever you're watching this, I'll see you next time.